good morning to all of you. I hope you all are fine at your end and taking care of yourself as well as your family. The topic which I am going to talk about today is repurposing of drugs against COVID-19. How much promising? I hope every one of you have heard about hydroxychloroquine, remdesivir for the treatment of COVID-19. So all these drugs are repurposed drugs. So in the first part of the presentation, I am going to talk about generals, what is the repurposing of the drugs, what are the methods for the repurposing, what is its advantages, and then second part, I am going to touch about repurposing of drugs in COVID-19 and what are the challenges and future perspective. So, repurposing of drugs means, in general, in simpler way, the we are exploring the available molecules for the alternate indications. So, available molecules, may be molecule which are available in the market, which we are going to explore for the other indications. The molecules which are banned due to some reasons or withdrawn from the market. So again, we are repurposing that molecules into the market, and the molecules which was under clinical trial or other phases of the clinical, whatever the phases of the clinical trial, and stopped due to some safety concern or any other concern, and now we are repurposing that molecules at lower dose or with other formulations for the alternate indications. So repurposing, again I am saying it's a meaning means we are repurposing the existing molecules for the alternate indication. As we are exploring the existing molecules, so it's obvious that there is no need to do much more extensive work which is required to put the new chemical entities into the market. This is, if you see these figures, you can see this is the traditional drug discovery process. It will take 10 to 17 years. It's a long and also time consuming process. So as we know, we are exploring the existing molecules. So we know the nature of the molecules, we know the pharmacokinetic, we know the dose regimen, we know the safety of the molecules. So in that case, there is no need to do extensive work which is required. So if we are not doing that much work for to putting the molecule into the market, so obviously its cost as well as time is reduced. So that is the major advantages of drug repurposing. The chances of success is a little bit more as compared to the new chemical entities. So only you have to do preclinical and clinical studies if you are repurposing a drugs, and in some cases you have to do only the clinical studies. You can directly put the molecules into a clinical trial directly also. Particularly this drug repurposing is helpful in a pandemic conditions where you have no options for the treatment, and it's a pandemic condition. You need the treatment as much as early as possible, and you don't have anything. So in that case, this drug repurposing is a good technique. So in some cases, you have to do preclinical study also, in vitro assay as well as animal study also. It depends upon the molecules which you are going to repurpose. It depends upon the dose of the molecules, the formulations of the molecules. So I am just giving one example. Suppose you are picking the one molecule which is available in the market at 10 mg for the treatment of anything, for example treatment of diabetes. Now you are repurposing that molecule for cancer, suppose, but now you are repurposing that molecule at the higher dose, which is not available in the markets. It's available in the 10 mg. Now you are saying this 50 mg of this molecule might be helpful in the cancer. So in that case, because you are increasing the dose, you have to do animal studies also. You can't give that molecule directly into the clinical trials. You have to generate preclinicals data and submit to the regulatory authorities. Regulatory persons will review that data, and then you will get a approvals, IND approval to start a clinical trials, right? So it depends upon the molecules, and if suppose same strength you are using and it's a pandemic condition, so directly you can test in a clinical trial, because you have already tested that molecules in a preclinical at the same dose and you have not found any toxicity concern. So the next questions might be arise in your mind is how we choose drugs for the reproposing. It's randomly we can't choose the drugs. You can't say yes, this drugs might be effective in this disease also. No, you have to should have the certain criteria where you have to choose the drugs for the reproposing. Most one first point is most important. You have to observe the trend in patients who take the drug. If it's a already available drug in the market, so you have to observe the trend of the patients, how this drug is behaving in the patients, particularly the patients who are suffering from a comorbid condition. Comorbid conditions means the patient is suffering from other disease also. So you have to be very carefully analyze the biomarker or surrogate biomarkers by using by giving that molecules what is the effect on these markers, and these markers is how much correlated for that particular disease and for the other disease. Then you can think of whether that molecules we can repurpose or not. Second is you have to identify disease biology that existing drug address. You have to identify because every disease biology is different, so you have to be understand which through which mechanism this molecule is going to show the actions, and this disease biology is similar to which other disease. So you can on the basis of that one you can think of yes, this molecule is working here, so this molecule can could also be work in these conditions also. Another these 2 points are the drugs which I told which you can repurpose, the drugs which are withdrawn from the market due to their toxicity, but now you are repurposing that molecules at the lower doses and you have generated data at low dose this drug is safe, or you are using that molecule you want to put that molecule in combinations for the different indications. The well-known example is thalidomide. I hope everyone of you heard about this molecules, which leads to one of the biggest medical tragedies. It's repurposed again for the refractory multiple myeloma, excluding pregnant women. So you can repurpose that type of molecule also. You can think which are banned, which are withdrawn, which are stopped in the clinical trials. Another is off targets, as a example is sildenafil, developed as anti-anginal but for erectile dysfunction. There is a on target and off target. Off target, see every molecule when we are doing the drug in drug discovery phases, we want this molecule will inhibit or activate that particular receptors or target. Particular target, whether target may be receptors or enzyme, whatever it is. So what is it like that? No, it's not like that. The molecule, your molecule is going to bind with other targets also. So that will be called off target, and actions of the molecules on the off target could result in beneficial as well as a harmful effects also. So ADRs can happen, or it could also result in beneficial effects also. So beneficial effect you can utilize for a repurpositions of the drugs. So next is question might be arise in your mind is why do we have to retest the proposed drug? Because we are using, if we particularly we are using a molecule which is already available in the market, so why there is a need to again test that molecule if you are using suppose same dose for the other indications? So what is the need to retest that reproposed drug? But you have to test, the reason is you have to need to make sure that drug works. That is very important. Means you are reproposing the existing molecules for the cancer, and molecule is available for the diabetes. So you have to make sure that same molecule is working in cancers or not. The biology and symptom of a different disease may impact drug safety. That is also important point. Due to this reason, you have to reevaluate. See, the every biology of the disease is different. So it's not like that if you are saying this molecule is available in the market for this disease and it's safe, and when you are repurposing that molecule for other disease, so it might lead to toxic reaction also, because disease biology is different. You can't say on the basis of that one for the other indications this molecule would also be safe in that other conditions also. No, it's not like that. Yeah, because every disease biology is different. Third point is required dose may be different. Yes, as I told you, sometimes you are saying, okay, we want to repropose these molecules. We have found a good effect, but we have found good effect at higher concentrations, and that dose is not available in the market. So in that case, you have to be retest that molecule at that particular dose. Yes, at that particular dose, it's also safe in that particular conditions. It may interfere with the current treatment regimen. It's also important because finally you put the molecules in the market for the treatment of the patients. The patient might be on number of drugs, so there might be a drug interactions also. So these are the all the reasons due to which you have to re-evaluate the reproposed drugs, whether you are using the same strength. Okay. So these are the few examples which you can get on internet, which are reproposed successfully for the other indications. Minoxidil hypertension successfully indicated for a hair loss. So you will get a number of examples from internet. Methods. What are the methods of reproposing? First method is text mining approaches, bioinformatics, artificial intelligence, target-based assay, and animal studies. So text mining approaches is a literature-based discoveries. You have to be read Medline, PubMed, Cochrane, and you have to be extract out these literature and read very carefully and analyze the data. You have to be look for biomarker and surrogate markers. What are the effect on these markers, and then you can correlate. Yes, these biomarkers or surrogate markers are increased, decrease, or no effect of the drugs. So on the basis of that, you can think of that molecule can be repurposed for that particular indications also. You can get a much more information on the website clinicaltrial.gov, where you will get all the information about the clinical trials, and you can analyze the results of clinical trials. Specifically, again, I am saying you have to analyze the biomarker as well as surrogate marker, what are the effect of that molecules. So from that you can get an ideas. Another well-known approach nowadays we are using in the reproposing of bioinformatics. I am just giving one example. There are a number of databases which are available. Just do the Google, you will find one is connectivity map. This contains a huge collection of genome by gene expressions. These are the readout of cell line treated with more than 1,000 drug molecules. So you can just identify the differences or similarity in genomic signature among complex disorder. You can make a network pharmacology or network where you can conclude that whether that molecule has able to repropose or not. There is a, I don't know it's visible or not, this is a mantra 2.0. Just do the Googles, you will get that one, and you can make a disease network and then you can analyze. But it's not that much easy as it looks like. What it can be done. Another is screening of existing drugs. Number of pupils are doing, they are taking the molecules from the databases. The database contains FDA approved drugs which are available in the market, Gene database. There are a number of databases. There is a CATS drug database from where you can extract out these molecules, and the target structure you can download from the protein data bank by using certain rules. And then you can prepare that ligand as well as these proteins and check the interactions whether your molecule is going to bind or not. This is one of the results of docking by using Mastro, and then you can check whether your molecule is able to bind or not. Further, you have to do molecular dynamic studies, and you can calculate RMSD, RMSF, radius of radiation, potential energy, as well as principal component analysis to check the stability of that molecules, the active site of that particular targets. And I have observed practically a number of times the molecule who is showing very good dock score but failed in the molecular dynamics study. So you have to be couples docking with dynamics to get better approach. And then you have to be think of level of evidence in drug reproposing. Level 0 means you have only computational predictions. On the basis of that you are saying yes, this molecule can be reproposed. In vitro studies you have then level 3, level 4. So more the evidence you have, more the chances of that molecule putting into the markets. So these is general about the drug repurposing, how you are repurposing the molecules. In next videos, I'm going to discuss about repurposing of drugs, particularly in context of COVID-19. Thank you.